With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? Speaking of Moana 2, of course, the official opening day is today, which meant yesterday was the preview night. And now we all kind of assume Moana would do really well at the box office. Well, it's off to a great start, as it's just set a very impressive box office record as the biggest box office take on a preview night for any Disney animated film ever. It's crazy. This comes to us from Variety, who says this. Moana 2 set sail at the box office with $13.8 million in preview screenings on Tuesday, ranking as the biggest preview haul in history for Disney Animation. It's also the biggest pre-Thanksgiving preview bounty and the second best preview figure of all time for an animated title. To compare to Disney's other animated juggernauts, this June's Inside Out 2 ranked in $13 million on its preview night, before notching $154 million in its 3-day debut. 2019's Toy Story 4 brought in $12 million in Thursday previews before launching to $121 million over the 3 days, while 2019's Frozen 2 earned $8.5 million on Thursday previews before bowing to $130 million over the weekend prior to Thanksgiving. Pixar's 2018 sequel, The Incredibles 2, which retains the record for biggest debut for an animated film, pulled in $18.5 million in Thursday previews before opening to a mighty $183 million over the weekend. All right. So when you really stop to think about it, like when you think about the history of Disney animation and all animation, the fact that Moana 2 just had the biggest preview night ever in history for Disney animation and the second biggest preview night of all time for any animated film is pretty impressive. The interesting one too is the Inside Out 2, because it made more than Inside Out 2 did on its preview night. And Inside Out 2 ended up being $154 million on its opening weekend. Now, I don't necessarily think that Moana 2 is going to have a $150 million opening weekend. I'm not saying it won't. I'm saying I'm not necessarily thinking that it will. But the fact that it even beat out Inside Out 2 on its preview night is pretty... Go ahead.
Yeah, on a Tuesday as well versus a Thursday, which does make a big difference when you're tracking days of the week.
Because a lot of people understand that Thursday is the opening, is the real opening night, the preview night. I think a lot of people didn't even realize Moana was playing in theaters yesterday. And yet it still made more than any other Disney animated film in history on its opening preview night. And I think we as film fans are guilty sometimes of, when we're throwing around numbers all the time, we forget to put it in historical context. Guys, think about all the Disney or Pixar or whatever animated films that have come out and stuff like that. And Moana 2 just topped that list. That's impressive. Now, will Moana 2 be $1 billion film? I thought it had a chance after seeing it. I don't think it's going to get enough repeat viewings to be $1 billion film.
Oh, that's a shame.
But it's going to make a lot of money. And it's already making a lot of money. So I think it's pretty impressive. Chris, you see these numbers. What stands out to you?
That they made the right decision putting it in theaters. Honestly, that's the big takeaway here is, wow, I can't believe you guys were going to make this a series and put it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's $13 million you wouldn't have had.
and that's, I think I just keep coming back to that. I understand that there obviously is a time and a place for things to be on streaming networks. That's why we have streaming networks. Well, when it comes to things that had great box office numbers, why would you put their successors on a streamer? And so I'm hoping moving forward that Disney really does contemplate these things and really weighs out those pros and cons. The biggest pro being, hey, do we want to make some money today?
That's always a good question to start your day with.
I think so.
I think that's always good for business.
That's what I do when I roll out of bed. Am I going to make any money
So
today?
let me ask you this, though. Now that we've seen the number for its preview night,
we
saw comparables, comps, as the people in the real estate industry call it, with Inside Out 2. Inside Out 2 ended up making 154. What do you think Moana's opening weekend is going to be?
Ooh, that is a great question. I don't think it's going to perform as strong as Inside Out did, mostly because we still have a little bit of the Wicked stuff happening.
Yeah.
And I do think
and
people can
Gladiator
do that.
2
And
that
Gladiator
the parents
as
are
well.
going to want to see.
And based on just what you've said and what some other reviews have said, I don't think it's going to have that let's go see it multiple times, particularly for parents, because that's what Inside Out 2 had going for it. Was I heard so many parents talking about how they wanted to see that movie so many times as talking points for their children to discuss anxiety and everything. So I don't know, a modest 125 or something like that. I don't know. Nothing crazy.
Listen, 1 to 125. That's
it's right
nothing
under Frozen
to
2.
sneeze at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
for a Disney sequel. I feel like that's a really good number for them. I just don't think it's going to be like that 160-ish kind of number that we've seen from other stuff.
I don't think so. It's got too much competition. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mando. Thank goodness it is football season. It's time for tailgates, touchdowns, and Sunday cookouts with the crew. But unfortunately, along with the drinks and the food, sometimes you also bring along your odor. And that is why Mando whole body deodorant should be an absolute tailgate game day essential. And that's why Mando's the MVP. It's clinically proven 72-hour odor control, so it's perfect for long days at the game or at the bar. I'm loving the Clover Wood scent, but they've got options like bourbon leather, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and even unscented if you prefer to go stealth mode. I like to use it after the shower, before the gym, or even important meetings. It's that reliable. And right now, Mando's got a killer deal. New customers get $5 off their best-selling starter pack with my exclusive code CAMPEA. That's over 40% off. Just go to shopmando, that's shopmando.com, and use the code CAMPEA. Seriously, guys, if you want a deodorant that's aluminum-free, baking soda-free, and just works better than anything else you've tried, it's time to make the switch to Mando. So don't wait. Control body odor anywhere with Mando. Head over to shopmando.com and use the code CAMPEA and get $5 off your starter pack. Trust me, you're going to love it. That's at shopmando.com. Go and check it out now. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Moana just set an incredibly impressive opening preview night record that has stood forever. Impressed, not impressed? How do you think that'll translate into the actual opening weekend box office? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.